100% behind labor.
Walls, a veteran, former teacher, and congressman, is a Midwesterner who could help win over rural America. As governor, he ushered in progressive policies like tuition-free college, legalized marijuana, and codified protections for abortion. Pennsylvania's Governor Shapiro is seen as a moderate who could make the difference in the must-win state for Democrats.
It should be Josh Shapiro. I don't think this is a hard choice.
In 2022, Shapiro outperformed President Biden's results in 2020 in all 67 Pennsylvania counties. But progressives have voiced concern Shapiro is too pro-Israel. But supporters say the real issue may be that Shapiro is Jewish.
And one of the questions people have is people want to know, can you have 3 Jews in the White House? 3 Jews and a black woman in the White House? And my answer is resoundingly yes.
Democrats insist they'll be happy with any one of the 6 candidates Harris interviewed over the weekend.
I'm confident that she will identify amongst the many wonderful choices that she has an effective governmental partner.
As of a couple of hours ago, campaign spokesperson insisted Harris has not made a decision on her running mate yet. Harris and her VP pick will host their first rally together right here in Philadelphia tomorrow night, launching a 5-day tour of 7 battleground states. Brett?
Brian Yennis live in Philadelphia. Brian, thanks. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance expressing indifference to the search for his Democratic counterpart. He's planning to hit some of the same states, bracket them, that the Harris ticket will visit later this week. Congressional correspondent Aisha Hasni has that part of the story tonight from Washington.
Tonight, Senator J.D. Vance is preparing to steal some of the spotlight from presidential hopeful Kamala Harris as she campaigns across battleground states like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Fox has learned Vance is planning to tail Harris and her VP pick all week long to attack them on inflation, border security, and crime.
I don't really care who she chooses as a running mate. It's not going to be good for the country.
The Harris camp, meanwhile, continues attacking Trump's VP as weird.
Well, that can be hard.
Vance's wife, Usha, exclusively telling Fox she tries not to let the negative press get to her while defending her husband's childless cat lady comments.
The reality is, JD made a quote. I mean, he made a quip, and he made a quip in service of making a point that he wanted to make that was substantive, and it had actual meaning.
Vance and Trump continue to hit the media circuit, calling out Harris for not yet sitting down for her own interview.
If she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it.
Trump, meanwhile, still facing backlash from within the GOP for attacking popular Georgia Governor Brian Kemp over the weekend.
I'm hoping that President Trump and Governor Kemp can repair the damage to win Georgia.
Today in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where Trump beat Biden by 16 points in 2020, a group of anti-Trump Republicans announced they're targeting Nikki Haley voters to turn out for Harris.
I know this election will be won at the margins by Republicans and independents like us in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump doesn't want those voters.
A similar group in Arizona also getting out the vote for Harris. And in a race as tight as this one, it will be all about those independents and swing voters. Brett?
Aisha, thank you. Speaking of Arizona, former President Trump's campaign attorney Jenna Ellis will cooperate with Arizona prosecutors in exchange for charges being dropped against her in the investigation into so-called fake electors after the 2020 election. Ellis worked closely with former Trump attorney and New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Ellis has previously pleaded not guilty to fraud, forgery, and conspiracy charges in that Arizona case. Up next, the latest on Tropical Storm Debbie's march throughout the southeast, a wet march at that. And later, the panel on the market meltdown, the economy, and what it means potentially for the presidential race.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary obligated to act in your best interest.
Could we use your house to trial our new energy saving windows? We're looking for homeowners with invalid states to...
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Hey, you remember the first time we visited Ark Encounter?
Yeah, you fainted.
twice.
Hey, now, let's just say it's a little bigger than imagination, okay? And the exhibits, they're so lifelike. There's just so much for the kids to do here. Virtual reality, a zoo, I mean, they even have zip lines. I guess I just never thought of
obvious signs of damage, like rotten soft.
Shed a few pounds in the first couple of weeks.
Learn more at triceravital.com.
If you have wet AMD, you never want to lose sight of the things you love. Some things should stand the test of time. Long-lasting EYLEA HD could significantly improve your vision. More people on EYLEA HD had no fluid in the retina compared to those on EYLEA at 4 months. EYLEA HD is the only wet AMD therapy that helped 8 out of 10 people go up to 4 months between injections after 3 initial monthly treatments. If you have an eye infection, eye pain or redness, or allergies to EYLEA HD, don't use. Eye injections like EYLEA HD may cause eye infection, separation of the retina, or rare but severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye. An increase in eye pressure has been seen. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. The most common side effects were blurred vision, cataract, corneal injury, and eye floaters. And there's still so much to see. If you are on EYLEA or a similar type of treatment, ask your retina specialist about EYLEA HD today for the potential for fewer injections.
Part 2 of Ainsley's Usha Vance interview.
I was able to grow up among people from all sorts of backgrounds and just feel this core identity as an American.
The one-on-one continues on Fox and Friends.
We planned well for retirement, but I wish we had more cash.
You think those two have any idea
that they can sell their life insurance policy for cash, so they're basically sitting on a gold mine? I don't think they have a clue.
That's crazy.
Well, not everyone knows Coventry's helped thousands of people sell their policies for cash, even term policies.
I can't believe they're just sitting up there.
Sitting on all this cash.
If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, you can sell all or part of it to Coventry, even a term policy, for cash or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums.
Someone needs to tell them that they're sitting on a gold mine and you have no idea. Hey guys, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Come on, do you hear that?
I don't hear anything anymore.
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today at 800-798-6200 or visit coventrydirect.com.
I'm Martha Stewart, and this is one of my new kittens. Of course, I want to give them the happiest, healthiest life possible, which is why I choose Pretty Litter. We love this litter because it's tough on odor and helps keep tabs on their health by changing color to show high, low, and typical pH levels. Pretty Litter is also low dust. And whether you're a new cat parent or a lifelong cat lover like me, this low-maintenance litter is the game changer. Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon is alleging U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and his wife were given a private trip to Hawaii and New Zealand by a major donor. The New York Times reporting Wyden is looking for additional information about the financial relationship between Thomas and Harlan Crow. Thomas defenders say the justice was following ethics advice at the time and points to a previous statement. The White House statement out tonight states that the Supreme Court is mired in a crisis of ethics. It says the report strengthens the president's case for common sense reforms. Meanwhile, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch says the controversial decision to grant former President Donald Trump immunity for some official actions is actually just a reaffirmation of a decision from decades ago. Justice Gorsuch spoke exclusively to Fox News' Sandra Smith.
Some major decisions came down, of which you were part of the presidential immunity ruling. I wonder if any message you can share with us on the unprecedented nature of the court handling something like that.
It's the first time in American history that one presidential administration was seeking to bring criminal charges against a predecessor. And we had to go back and look at what sources were available to us. No man is above the law in his private conduct. Even a president can be prosecuted for speeding, okay? His private conduct, he's like everyone else. What happens, though, when he leaves office? Well, there's a precedent in the United States Supreme Court called Nixon versus Fitzgerald, in which the court said that civil cases can't be brought against a president presumptively in his official capacity after he leaves office. Why? Because that would chill him from exercising the powers and duties of president while he's president. He'd be overwhelmed. His political enemies would simply bring suits against him forevermore. And so the court held that about 50 years ago. And all the court did in this case was simply apply that same precedent and idea to the criminal context.
Fox News weather alert now. What is now Tropical Storm Debbie is dumping bucket loads of rain on northern Florida and southern Georgia tonight. Catastrophic flooding, life-threatening storm surges are possible. The storm made landfall this morning as a hurricane, small one, but still a hurricane in the Big Bend area of Florida's Gulf Coast. Brandy Campbell of Fox Weather is in Savannah, Georgia tonight with the latest of the fallout of Debbie. Good evening, Brandy.
Well, good evening, Brett. While Debbie has declined from a hurricane down to a tropical storm, our Fox Forecast Center expects the worst impacts of this storm are yet to come. We're in Savannah, Georgia, where a tornado warning just expired, and we're still under a flash flood warning. The rain has lightened up, thankfully, so it allowed some of that flash flooding to go down in the area, but Debbie is now making a slow crawl from Florida into Georgia, and it has been a deadly storm. At least 4 deaths reported. In one incident, a 14-year-old boy was killed Monday after a tree fell on a mobile home in Levy County. And take a look at this video. 2 boaters had to be rescued during the storm after their vessel lost its sail 73 miles off the coast of Boca Grande. No injuries were reported. Now going forward, over 2 feet of rain is possible in South Carolina and Georgia. The National Weather Service saying it's expected to produce historic flooding for portions of the southeast in the coming days. In Savannah, businesses have closed early. Public schools also closed for the next 2 days. And a county-wide curfew starts in Chatham County 10 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. on Wednesday. And Brett, flooding isn't the only threat here. It's been knocking power out in its path. Over 170,000 customers are out of power in Florida and over 30,000 and growing here in Georgia. Back to you.
Brandy Campbell live in Savannah. Brandy, thanks. Up next, the panel on the market meltdown, the economy, and the latest in the presidential race.
Hi! Need new glasses? Buy 1 pair, get 1 free at Vision Works. How can you see me squinting? I can't, I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
Buy 1 pair, get 1 free for back to school. Vision Works. See the difference.
Here we are driving down the road and all of a sudden, bang! Oh! Look at that. You know what we can do now?
Go to SafeLight.com.
They are the experts at replacing and recalibrating windshields. If you get a crack in your windshield, there's only one choice.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
I'm lucky. I found the one thing that I was put on this earth to do. And every day, as I inch 1 step closer to my vision, it reminds me that making it in life is all about the making.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Now, during the Ram Make This the Summer event, get $2,000 bonus cash allowance on select 2024 Ram pickup trucks and vans in dealer stock. See your Ram dealer today.
You know, you only get one body. It might be the perfect size to do this. Your body may take up a lot of space, or have to speak with its hands. But no matter what body you're born with, you only get one. Let's fight like hell for it.
Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's stands tall in our unwavering commitment to honoring our heroes. We extend our gratitude beyond words by proudly offering a legendary salute discount to those who protect our freedoms. Our dedication to those who selflessly serve us runs deep within our DNA. It's not just a discount, it's a commitment to making a difference. Because every day is a chance for us to say thank you. Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
This is a story about the one. The untrained eye may not see the one as extraordinary, but her goals aren't easy. She fixes, she manages, she perfects. She is extraordinary. Because for the one, maintaining this space transports her to this space. The industrial grade product you need plus 1 million more. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Somebody would ask her something and she would just walk right past them because she didn't know they were talking to her.
I just could not hear. I was hesitant to get the hearing aids because of my short hair, but nobody even sees them.
Our nearly invisible hearing aids are just one reason we've been the brand leader for over 75 years.
When I finally could hear for the first time, I could hear everything.
Call Miracle Ear at 1-800-234-7090 and schedule your free hearing evaluation today.
In the furniture business, things move fast. ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who can keep up. We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days. He was qualified in every way. ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs. They helped us build our dream team, and they did it fast. Is that too fast for you?
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Fox.
This is Remington. He's a member of the family for sure. We always fed them kibble. It just seemed like the thing to do. But he was getting picky. We heard about the farmer's dog, and it was a complete transformation. His coat was so soft. He had amazing energy. He was a completely different dog. It's a no-brainer that Remy should have the best nutritious and delicious food possible. I'm investing in my dog's health and happiness.
Get started at longlivedogs.com.
Bordery ships the only fully arranged cheese and charcuterie boards nationwide, so you can make hosting stress-free, perfect for hosting a party or celebrating a birthday. With boards for every occasion, Bordery is guaranteed to impress. Order today at bordery.com.
The best things in life come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 thumbs up. And now, buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, 2 months free. All with fast, reliable, nationwide coverage. Make the switch today.
114,000 jobs created. Over the 3-month average, it's 170,000. That's still an indicator of a very strong economy.
It is a market sell-off, and here's what's behind it. Friday's very weak jobs report convinced investors that the slowdown is real. And then there's politics and the election.
So this is a nice change of pace. There's a lot of business people surrounding Harris. If you're in the stock market, if you care about your paycheck, you go with Trump.
Well, what will happen with the economy? You've got these headlines that are obviously everybody's reading and we're covering. Wall Street bloodbath, Dow, NASDAQ plummet, U.S. recession fears spark sell-off in international markets. Dow plunges more than 1,000 points in global market sell-off. You look at the Dow, I mean, there's a mountain up and down, but there's the down part as of today as the jitters set in. Now, how does it play in politics? The last Wall Street Journal poll had able to handle the economy up against Harris and Trump, with Trump at 52%. That was the last poll there. We'll see how that continues to evolve because everything is through the prism of politics nowadays. Let's bring in our panel. America's Newsroom co-host Bill Hemmer, Fox News analyst Lawrence Jones, co-host of Fox and Friends, and Jessica Tarloff, co-host of The Five. It's just co-host of everything.
All the hosting.
Yeah, Lawrence, welcome back from vacation. What's your take on, where we stand? You heard Larry Kudlow earlier in the show. There could be more bumpy roads ahead here.
Well, and I say this for both political parties, if you celebrate the market, then you die by the market as well. And so both parties like to take victory laps when it comes to that. I think it's not just the market, though. When you're talking people living paycheck to paycheck, you got people of my generation that are now living with their parents because they can't afford housing, can't even get their first home. It's clear if you're a Democrat, you want this election to be based on personality. You do not want an election on the economy and the other issues. Right now, it looks like most folks right now, when it comes to the Democratic Party, they are going back and forth with Donald Trump when it comes to the personality type. Is this guy the right guy to be in the Oval Office? But if you're the Trump campaign, you're saying, look, can you even afford things right now? And I think right now, that's where the former president is winning on the issue.
And that's a fair point, Jessica. And, you know, the former president says this is directly a Kamala crash, is what he says, and he put out on Truth Social. I mean, obviously, if you look back at his time, there were some serious market sell-offs during the Trump presidency. And to Lawrence's point, whenever you track the market, it's a dangerous thing tied to politics directly. But it is not great timing as you get ready for this Democratic convention.
Absolutely not, and we'll have to see what tomorrow looks like, right? I mean, there's no reason to think that this is something that is going to destroy the bull market that we've been seeing. We're up 14% year over year, up 55% since Donald Trump was in office. The RNC research team loves to put out these tweets and then just get kind of dunked on all day. They say, how's your 401k? Well, it's up between 20 and 40% because of how well the market has been doing under the Biden-Harris administration. But Lawrence is correct about a preference. Like, if I could decide right now what the main theme of the election would be, I would love Donald Trump to just come out every day and say, Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, and then let everybody be completely turned off by him. And I think that we would win that election. If you're talking about issues, she has ground to make up on the economy. I think what is available to her that Joe Biden did not do as well as he could have is for her to talk about the mechanics of the economy, to talk about what they have built, look at those jobs reports, look at your 401k, et cetera, but then to talk empathetically about the prices, what's going on in grocery stores, because that is something that hits home with people. And you see that in survey after survey, that they don't care about the mechanics as much as what it looks like when they go into a food aisle.
Bill, what do you think?
Well, I was just listening to your report about 20 minutes ago about independent voters, and I went back and looked at our battleground polling. This is only 10 days old now, okay? So this is before Kamala Harris has been defined and before we really know what her economic policies would be if she would pursue as president. Trump leads her among independents in Michigan by 8. Trump leads her among independents in Pennsylvania by 9. Trump leads her in Wisconsin among independents by 4. In 2020, Joe Biden won this group by a whopping 15 points, 52-37, according to our voter analysis. If the issue is the economy, that's what independent voters vote on.
All right. Meantime, we're waiting for this vice presidential nominee pick, likely going to happen tomorrow, as Kamala Harris is going to be in Philadelphia. Reuters is saying that it's down now just to Shapiro and Walz, the governor of Pennsylvania, the governor of Minnesota, and there are upsides for both. Here's some of the sound on the political upsides about Shapiro for Harris's ticket.
There's real excitement in Pennsylvania over the possibility that it will be Josh.
I think Josh Shapiro is nimble enough and a good enough political athlete to add substantial value to the ticket.
If she overrules the left and picks Shapiro, I think that'd be a good move for her. It's a critical swing state in Pennsylvania.
My view on vice presidential picks is they rarely make a big positive difference, but a bad decision can hurt you.
But Senator Fetterman from the state of Pennsylvania in Politico has concerns. Fetterman's advisor suggested to Harris's team that the senator believes that Shapiro is excessively focused on his own personal ambitions. His reservations about Shapiro reflect a long-running rivalry between the two ambitious Democrats who have risen on parallel tracks in a politically crucial state. Jessica, we play this game all the time, the partner game. But we're here, and it's now.
It's exciting to actually have something coming instead of 8 weeks out. Well, who do you think? What? 2 weeks ago, we didn't even know that she was going to be the candidate, or 2 weeks and a day ago. It's exciting. I have said consistently since we've gotten into the era of the Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket that I'm very glad that the Democrats are showing off how deep the bench is. I think that the two of them would both be great picks. I thought Mark Kelly as well and Andy Beshear from Kentucky, if they are indeed off the list, also would have been great. Shapiro, a lot of points for him. And if your key to winning is Pennsylvania, then the guy from Pennsylvania makes a lot of sense. But what I've seen from the reporting and heard from folks in D.C. is that Tim Walz just warms your heart, and that the vetting team really enjoyed being with him. And he is responsible for a large amount of the vibes that are going on right now in the Kamala camp. He was the first one to say they're really just weird. And that has become the clarion call.
And by the way, you said the Kamala Harris era, that's just days old, by the way.
But it's been a great 14 days, hasn't it?
15.
Well, what do you think?
Chris LaCivita, one of the leading campaign managers for Donald Trump, tweeted out on X an hour ago that Josh Shapiro is out. I don't know what he knows. I'm not saying that's fact, but as far as I know, up until last night, Shapiro was the odds-on favorite. I mean, now that we're at Canada Casino here for a moment.
Yeah.
If it's not him, I guess Tim Walz. What is the litmus test that we always talk about? Who do you feel comfortable with? And maybe Kamala Harris, in this very rushed process, has been trying to figure that out. And maybe it is Walz from Minnesota. I think there are pluses and minuses on a lot of these candidates, and we'll find out probably at the crack of dawn tomorrow by way of video.
Maybe on your show. Maybe. Lawrence, what I just don't understand is there hasn't really been interviews, obviously, of Vice President Harris. There haven't been challenges about these previous ideological positions from 2019. There hasn't obviously been a debate. We hope they debate on Fox. So how does Tim Walz help you with your liberal problem of San Francisco?
Well, so she has two problems. She has the record that is quite progressive, and it's one that she used to tout aggressively. But she also has the communications flaw. And if she's going to select someone on the ticket, they have to be able to communicate this brighter America. She can't do that. There's a reason why she's not doing interviews right now. It's because she can't do interviews unless she's on the attack. You got to remember, Kamala Harris's most famous lines are when she was on a committee hearing and she's attacking someone that really cannot respond, or if she's pinning Joe Biden down on the debate stage. Now, of course, that didn't last much. She was the first person out of the Democratic primary. So she's going to need someone. I think this is going to be the first time historically. Of course, always there's a president or a nominee on the ticket that says, hey, I want to gain something from my nominee. Barack Obama needed foreign policy experience. He selects Joe Biden. Even though he doesn't use him much in that area, it was the appearance of things. The difference here is she's going to need a vice presidential nominee that can communicate to America because she can't. There's a reason 15 days out, I think we're at, or 14 days out, that she hasn't done an interview because she can't do those right now.
But, Bill, as you look at those rust states on the map, it's going to be fascinating if it is Walz and Vance and the battle for these rust states.
You know, coming out of Milwaukee, that's what the Trump folks told us. One of the main reasons they took Vance is because they wanted to appeal to white, uneducated guys who don't have a college degree in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. We'll see whether or not it works.
J.D. Vance's approval rating has gone down since he's gotten on the ticket by 8 points.
What's your bet? I need a bet right now. I'm not going to get you, Bill. It'll take forever. All right, Jessica.
Like $1 on Walz.
Okay.
For the vibes.
Big money. Big money. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
Tomorrow's special report, we hope to have a decision on this running mate for Vice President Kamala Harris. Remember, if you can't catch us live, set your DVR, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. on the West Coast. Thank you for inviting us into your home tonight and every night. That's it for this special report. Fair, balanced, and still unafraid. The Ingram Angle is now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingram. This is the Ingram Angle from Washington tonight. As Israel awaits a counterstrike, Kamala, she's in the Situation Room.
And now I say, team, the baton is in our hands.
Well, that prospect may be what's partially bothering investors.
Red across the screens as a massive broad sell-off rocks investors in the U.S. and around the world.
Meanwhile, late today, the search term Google produced one word: monopoly. A federal judge rules that Google is violating our antitrust laws. And guess who brought the case?
Nobody did anything about it, but we did.
But first, the Kamalamity continues. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, they told us things were moving in the right direction.
We're going to have, as they say, a soft landing. Folks, you're going to see us grow faster and faster.
The U.S. economy today is strong.
It is true that by many indicators, our economy is the strongest in the world.
But, of course, today, the Harris downturn began in earnest. It was down, down, down.
This is history coming out.
History in the making.
Of what some would call history in the making.
Don't say that. We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go.
Hear anything from Joe Biden today? Well, we did see him shuffling at one point. Well, actually, forget that. He's out of it. Did we hear anything from Harris? Oh, we're supposed to believe she's busy poring over war plans, looking at carrier group deployments in the Situation Room tonight? Okay. Of course, given Biden's condition, we would want to believe that we have a totally engaged, experienced, brilliant number two to someone to step in, offer advice, offer counsel. But at a time of such national security and economic peril, instead, we have Kamala Harris.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
No wonder they don't let her take questions from the press. She sounds like kind of a high school student who hasn't prepared for an exam, and so in the answer just ends up restating the question, adding no substance whatsoever. And it's obvious. At this point, what else can we conclude? But she's an empty pantsuit. From day one, regardless of how bad things got at the border, and especially with inflation, the Biden-Harris administration treated it all as a comms challenge, a communications issue. But today, of all days, we saw that being president is an actual job. The Harris campaign wants you to think it's about creating vibes, eating ice cream, and making TikTok videos.
Hey, Kamala, what are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
The White House, on an almost hourly, almost minute-by-minute basis, is faced with serious issues that require decisions sometimes that have to be made within very short periods of time. And those decisions are supposed to be made by people whom the voters elect. We didn't vote for Janet Yellen. We didn't vote for Jay Powell to run the economy. We didn't elect Secretaries Austin and Tony Blinken to run the Middle East and the war in Ukraine. We elected a president and a vice president, and they're MIA. Today, people lost enormous amounts of money. Could this be a short-term blip? Maybe. But what if it isn't? But it seems obvious that neither Biden nor Harris can participate meaningfully in explaining the fundamentals of this economy. Now, we know that Trump understands how bad inflation is, and bad for a country, bad for a people, and that he has an actual economic plan to deal with it.
What's your plan for the black community when it comes to money?
Inflation is a disaster, and it's destroying our country, and it's destroying the black community probably as much. You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation.
After today, Americans are really worried, except to say that, look, she trusts Joe Biden's leadership. Does Kamala Harris have any answers for those worries? I'm not even sure Harris at this point knows the difference between the Dow and the NASDAQ.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
For over 3 years, the angle has told you this is not a comms job. And the 65% of Americans who now think we're going in the wrong direction, they're not feeling that way because they don't like Biden or Harris personally or because they sound like confused eighth graders. Americans are pessimistic because the policies are horrible. But instead of changing their horrible policies, the Democrat cabal just decided to change the nominee. And with Harris, you get the same lousy policies, but then they're presided over by someone who knows even less about economics and foreign policy than Biden does, and someone whose instincts are even worse. So people are going to lose jobs. People are going to lose their homes. Trillions in global wealth may be going down the drain. Maybe another war in the Middle East. And all you journalists out there, you're not even going to demand that Kamala Harris, the presumptive Democrat nominee, submits to real questions? How about a real press conference? This is absolutely disgraceful. There was a sense that on the part of the press that they were on at some point to this Kamala until quite recently. Remember this? The Kamala Harris problem. That was the headline in the liberal Atlantic just last October. Within months of taking office, President Joe Biden was forced to confront a public perception that Harris didn't quite measure up. Harris's reputation has never quite recovered. But once Joe Biden was pushed out, suddenly Kamala Harris became FDR with the natural political talent of Obama. And then this embarrassing headline in today's Atlantic. The power of oddball charm. Kamala Harris hasn't just reset the presidential election. Her specific charisma matches the cultural moment. I almost fell out of my chair when I read this. She has a kind of light, smiling swagger. And the writer marvels at the ease and, yes, silliness with which Harris carries herself is earning a precious commodity, positive attention. The writer used the word silliness. That's just what we need at a time like this. I'm sure silliness is what the Ayatollah is watching for tonight. She's being treated in the same terms as so many social media phenoms, cheered as girly or mother, the writer said. And her campaign is playing into an increasingly short attention span, which includes sharing teensy audio-visual treats. A fun mannerism, a new tick, is like a delicacy. Now, those losses we saw today, those are not delicacies. And even if inflation and this downturn doesn't hurt Kamala's mega-wealthy celeb donors like Clooney or Julie Louis-Dreyfus, it's hurting the poorest Americans the hardest. More Americans say they can't save for a rainy day. More Americans say they can't buy a starter home. More Americans are wondering if they're ever going to be able to retire. So whether today signaled a longer period of U.S. decline, look, only time is going to tell that. But regardless, Kamala Harris is a co-partner in the calamity cruelly foisted on America, where we blow hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars on illegals, make our abundant energy supplies more expensive, and in the end, make us all poor in the process. And the only shot we have, the only shot at really returning prosperity to the middle class for a more prosperous, a safer country, is by choosing the guy who did it once before. And that's the angle. Joining us now is Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures. Kevin, great to see you tonight. So tell us about the issue with this White House not coming out today, not saying a word, the volatility of the markets, and everyone hoping that Jay Powell comes in to save the day.
Well, we're in unusual times, and I guess I'm a fortunate guy because I don't make money on politics. I've said it countless times. I make money on basically policy, and so I'm able to talk to a lot of Democrats that I work with as we do business in private equity and other transactions, and some of them advise her. Some of them are fundraisers for her, and they're very pragmatic people. I've known them for years. So you are right to call out for the idea of getting some more policy, but you're not going to get it for a while. The strategy seems to be, let's stay on this tremendous momentum we have right now, and I call it sunny times because it is. There's no question she's raising a lot of money. She doesn't need to do anything right now because the numbers keep going up. And also, she's got the euphoria coming, part two of sunny times, when she chooses her vice president. You get to ride that right through August 7th. And I've talked to some advisors that have actually sat within the White House in the last 7 days. And they're not changing anything. They're just killing it right now by the metrics that matter. And I've always said this.
Well, that's nice, Kevin. Kevin, that's nice that all, the rich people are killing it because they can put in their shorts and they can, change their portfolios on a dime. But the fact of the matter is, middle-class America is getting poorer. That's happening as the rich are happy to keep riding. They keep riding the wave, right? We're riding the wave. They're fine. They're not interested in wages going up for the average person. Why are they giving all the money to Kamala Harris?
It's a fair criticism, but if you're Kamala Harris right now, you're killing it on what matters. What matters in a campaign is money, particularly now, and she's killing it raising money.
Why are the billionaires giving her money? Kevin, you know these people.
No, she's not getting it from billionaires. She's getting it.
Silicon Valley and Wall Street
at a time. She's killing it. Look, I'm not defending
Silicon Valley and Wall Street is shoveling money at Kamala Harris. Why is that? You know they are.
Because it's working. Because she's figured out how to get these. Look, I'm just telling you the facts. You don't want to hear them? I won't tell them to you.
No, but
she's raising
it's
money.
Not working for regular people. I'm not talking about her campaign. We know that rich people want to keep wages down for the middle class. That's happening and has happened over decades. We want to know why the billionaires in Silicon Valley, the ones who got hammered when Google was declared an antitrust violation today, I don't like that ruling, I can tell you that. Why are they shoveling money to Kamala Harris? Because she's a champion of the middle class?
No, I'm answering a different question. When you're asking the right question, when do we get policy? And I'm telling you, it won't be until after August 7th. That's when the race begins. And here's the risk, okay? A week ago, when I talked to these very same advisors, they said 20% of them were unhappy that they didn't run a process and missed out on sucking even more media through a convention strategy to August 7th. And if she was going to emerge as the winner, she would have, but they would have sucked more media. Now here's the new risk. I call it sunny times, because we've recently seen this happen. Back up in Canada, we had a candidate who never, ever gave policy, never did an interview, and just kept saying, don't worry, I'm bringing sunny times. And that's exactly what she's doing. Now, I don't know if she has executional skills. Nobody does. But what she's going to have to do is move these policies into the middle, because she's not going to get Pennsylvania on gun control. She's not going to win telling everybody you can't do energy and stop fracking,
Kevin,
and she's got to close the border.
If we had Kamala Harris here tonight and just asked her some basic questions about interest rates, inflation, oil prices, you know, the Japanese question, do you think would get, I know Trump would be able to answer any of these questions. Do you think Kamala Harris would be able to give kind of a cogent argument as to why things are going to be okay?
Let's say I had to interview her for a job position, CEO of the largest business on earth. That's America. That's the largest business on earth. There's two aspects. I need the policy. Give me the policy, because she's going to have to do that to get the swing states. But secondly, and this is where the risk is, the sunny times risk, show me you can execute on the policy. Show me what you've done, that you can set a goal.
Kevin, we've seen the policy.
I have no idea.
We've seen the policy for the past 3.5 years. Spend, 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 borrow a hell of a lot of money, and try to ride that sugar high all the way to the election. Haven't we seen the policy?
She is not staying there. I guarantee you,
she's not making any decisions.
There.
Do you see Jim Cramer? Jim Cramer made an announcement today. I want to play this to Kevin. Let's watch.
You're in the stock market. If you care about your paycheck, you go with Trump. If that's what you do.
You do?
Yeah. Well, he wants to cut your taxes.
Oh, he wants to cut taxes.
Kevin, are you surprised Cramer went in for Trump?
No, I know Jim. He's right, but I'm telling you, she is not staying with. She's going to rebrand herself towards the middle. I guarantee you that's coming after August 7th.
She's a radical.
The question is not just the policy.
Herself. Yeah, but
she's going to give it a shot. She can't win without it. I guarantee you the policies go to the middle. I've been told that already. I believe who I'm talking to. But
well, you're probably right. It would have been nice,
Kevin, she's going to do that.
2.5 years ago when Larry Summers, or 3 years ago when Larry Summers said, hey guys, watch inflation, and they all blew it off, dismissed it, riding high, Bidenomics is great. They treated it like a comms problem, and it's not a comms problem. We don't know what will happen tomorrow.
I want you to get ready for August 8th when the rebranding starts, but you should be asking the other question. Can you execute? Because that's what really matters. That's what matters. Can you execute?
No. Well, they got us into a huge amount of debt, and government has to be cut. Kevin, great to see you. Thanks so much. And coming up, why Kamala Harris won't face the press. Plus, Pelosi denies being behind any of the Biden coup stuff. No fingerprints. Next.
If I'm going to do this, it won't be a bad show.
You seem pretty good for a gringo.
Hope you're not a mind reader, because if you are, I'm about to get my face slapped.
Why don't you give up?
I never give up.
Hey!
Look at this. I love my new body. I love my new shape.
This summer, feel confident in anything with Sonobello One Visit Permanent Fat Removal.
I saw the results immediately. I feel amazing.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50.
And my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Call or go to sonobello.com.
It will change your life. It did for me.
It's Payne o'clock. Let's do this.
Sorry, Payne. I can't let you in.
What? I've had a standing appointment with Mr. Dubin for years. I'm expected.
Not anymore. Mr. Dubin's been taking Relief Factor.
Relief Factor!
Keep pain away for good with Relief Factor, a natural supplement that takes a different approach to pain relief. It doesn't mask pain, it builds up your body's response to inflammation so pain won't get in. Call or go online today and live your best life without pain.
When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code for our $25 extravaganza. Order $75 and over. Your entire order ships absolutely free.
Only from SimpliSafe, 24/7 lifeguard protection. This exclusive technology allows SimpliSafe agents to help stop crime in real time.
Stop. Police are on their way.
For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage you need easy. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com now.
Tonight, Kamala is notorious for not putting in the work. Sean is stepping up and speaking out. We will continue our vetting. Get can't miss analysis on Hannity.
Michael lost 20 pounds with LifeMD.
I've always wanted to lose weight, but I never figured out the right way to do it. I did a cleanse, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I asked a couple buddies, I said, how do I lose this weight? And the guy goes, LifeMD. Got on the computer immediately, and probably the easiest thing I've ever done. The medication comes in the mail, and it's very easy to use. I've been able to live my normal lifestyle, and I've lost 20 pounds already. I now come home, spend time with my kids, and I've never felt better. Changed my life.
Check your eligibility in minutes at GetLifeMD.com.
We need a small business loan fast.
I got this. Loan Falcon!
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
What is Circle? Circle is the fuel you need to take flight. Circle is the energy that gets you to the next level. Circle is what you hope for when life tosses lemons your way. Circle, available at Walmart and drinkcircle.com.
I'm Daniel, the founder of Pretty Litter, the color-changing, health-monitoring cat litter. Did you know that cats tend to hide symptoms of sickness and pain? I learned this the hard way after losing my cat, which drove me to create this. By working with scientists and veterinarians, we were able to develop a new litter with color-changing technology to help you keep tabs on your cat's health. With advanced odor control, low dust, and easy maintenance, it's no wonder we're called the world's smartest litter. So give it a try. Visit prettylitter.com today.
From basement Biden to Hayden-Harris, Democrats are sticking with the strategy of playing keep away with their nominees. You believe it's been 15 days since Kamala Harris became the presumptive nominee, and she has still not held a press conference, done an interview? Heck, she hasn't answered a single question from a reporter. Well, but maybe there's a reason for that.
The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
When they're making her disappear, well, they're making her old radical views disappear too. Oh, sorry, it's not disappear. It's just a natural evolution to, no, don't call it a flip-flop.
I think that voters should think that she's a human being who learns new things every single day and has the ability to take the time and effort to hear the concerns of all people.
So no concern about flip-flopping?
No, no concern about flip-flopping. This is our country changes every single day. The conditions of our country changes every single day.
Joining us now, Victor Davis Hanson, Senior Fellow at Hoover. Victor, in these precarious times, to say the least, will the voters just be fine or content to settle for a TikTok president?
I don't think so, because they know what's coming. She's going to flip from hard left to moderate and see if she can get elected. And then as soon as she's elected, the voters know she's going to flip right back where she was in the beginning. And that's something they've seen for 4 years with Joe Biden. And they're confident because they feel they've swapped a cognitively challenged candidate, or Joe Biden, and now they've got a linguistically challenged candidate. It's the same problem, but they have a solution. They think it's a 2020 solution. They're going to outraise Trump and saturate the airwaves. They're going to keep her away from any disinterested real journalist or ad hoc environment. And they're going to count on this 70% of the electorate who won't show up on election day, but will vote early or mail in the swing states. And finally, this is the key. They're going to try to, as we said, flip her and turn her into a Joe Biden from Scranton. That's going to be hard because she's never been before a moderate audience. She's always doubled down. She wasn't just against fracking or for open borders, but because she was always speaking to left-wing people in California. And in the 2020 primary, she's on record for saying, yes, we have to do this. It's emphatic. And so today, Laura, is 90 days until the election, and it hinges on whether Donald Trump can stay on message and convince the American people that she's going to flip this way and that way, and she's a hard left Bay Area politician. If he can do that, he'll win. If he doesn't, it's going to be very problematic.
Yeah, well, I think, look, when you watch that whole, the National Association of Black Journalists, I mean, he did a phenomenal job at that. You know, there was that one moment where it kind of got all the attention. So that got people completely distracted. Then in Georgia, it was a great crowd. Everyone's really happy. And then, you know, some of it became about Brian Kemp, the Republican governor. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Shooting inside the tent right now of the Republican Party, that's a loser strategy. That's not going to work. They tried that in 2020, and we lost 2 Senate seats. Then in 2022, we had some more. It doesn't work. You got to focus on what they are doing to destroy this country.
Absolutely. Brian Kemp, whatever the disagreement, he's already endorsed Trump. So it doesn't do any good to go back and say that Joe Biden was the worst candidate in history, because he's not running anymore, and
right.
people are starting to feel sympathetic. Yeah, they're feeling sympathetic for him because they don't have to have him around after January. So don't waste time on Brian Kemp. I wouldn't even get into the past history, personal history, or
waste of time
of Kamala Harris. I would just say that she is flipping in a very opportunistic fashion just to get elected, and then once she's elected, it's the Obama 4th term, and you know what that's like. And if he sticks to that in those swing states, and and J.D. Vance, there's no more articulate person that can make that case, they will win. But if he gets off on these tangents, I'm worried.
Yeah, well, Vance has been fantastic. And look, you vote for her, you're going to get poorer, and the streets are going to be more dangerous. Vote for me, you have more money in your pocket, gas will be $2.25 a gallon. End of story, win the election. Victor, great to see you. All right, we all know that Nancy the Gavel Pelosi was a key force in shutting down the Biden campaign. But she still wants no fingerprints on the political weapon.
It's said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody.
Joining me now, Vivek Ramaswamy, former 2024 presidential candidate. Vivek, we can parse those words. I mean, I guess who cares about Pelosi? It's all, as you say, and you've said it so many times, this is a sideshow. That's over. Now, but she may be a Biden slayer, but Trump may be a Google slayer, Vivek, because huge news tonight out of a D.C. federal court, a case that started in the Trump administration against the monopolistic practices of Google, the evil Death Star of Silicon Valley? How significant is this, and what should this say to voters about who cares about the little guy?
Well, look, I think that you're seeing a major evolution in the Republican Party, Laura, of the Republican Party actually standing for the working men and women in this country. The reality is what I actually worry much more about in big tech is the nexus to the state itself. The government has used these companies to do their dirty work through the back door. And even more than these antitrust cases, I think the Trump administration's focus on that backdoor deep state nexus to big tech is the place where we need to focus. And even as that ties to the Pelosi comments from earlier, there's a common thread, which is that we are not running against individual candidates here. We are running against a machine. And I think this is going to be President Trump and J.D. Vance's most powerful argument against Kamala Harris, is that she's just the latest puppet to come along. We're actually running against a managerial class that's propping up these puppets one by one. And I think with that focus, we're going in to dismantle the machine. That's what won Trump the presidency in 2016 with the message, drain the swamp. That's what it meant. I think staying on that is actually going to be the winning message in 2024 as well, not just as a message, but as a governing agenda. And so that's what I'd say to tie both those things up.
Well, Vivek, I asked this question of Kevin O'Leary at the top of the show, and he knows all these, investors. You know a lot of them, too. Wall Street, Silicon Valley money, not all of it, but a lot of money going to prop up Kamala Harris. Why is she the answer for them? What policies will she put forward that they like?
Well, the reality is they're buying a call option, to use financial language. They don't know what policies she actually stands for. I'm not sure she anymore knows what policies she stands for. She has not even taken policy positions, and the few that she has shifted in recent days. What they're buying is the call option to believe that they can influence her once she's in office, which goes back to that same theme, Laura. Biden's cognitive deficits, they were not a bug, they were a feature for the people who controlled him. They're betting on the same with Kamala Harris as well, that she's actually going to be just another vehicle for advancing their own agenda. So right now, that's more of a down payment. Think about an early payment that you make on an option you want to have. That's what they're making right now, is a down payment on a puppet who they can control. They know President Trump is not that. And the reality is they would rather have a puppet, frankly, in either party. This time it's the Democratic Party. That's what you're seeing happening right now.
But they're not interested, as a question I posed to him. These people who are giving money from Silicon Valley and Wall Street, they're not giving money because they're desperate for wages to go up for the middle class. No way. They like the fact that all these illegals are coming in here. They like wages being kept at a manageable level, which is barely getting by for most people.
Yeah, look, I think there's a deeper ideological current here, but as it relates to Kamala Harris in particular, I think the reality, Laura, is most people don't know what she actually stands for. Look at Reid Hoffman's commentary, one of the largest donors. He's made very clear what are some of the policy prescriptions he would like to see her adopt. The fact that he's putting this out there while also giving money suggests that it's not her policies that they're actually backing. It's their policies that they hope to actually shape. That's been a major problem in American politics, frankly, in the pre-2016 Republican Party as well. Certainly a major problem in the Democratic Party today. We should not want a country where either major political party or its presidential nominee is a pawn for the donor class. Yeah, that's what the Democratic Party has actually become.
Well, we didn't elect Reid Hoffman. When I was electing, Reid Hoffman or whoever the donors are, and one would expect that someone like Harris would be able to come out and speak for 3 minutes about the economic conditions that led to this market sell-off today. Just a few comments, anything? Anything from her? Nothing?
Knowing Kamala Harris, or what I know about her and what she said in the past, I think it's probably better, Laura, that she didn't say anything. Markets are actually undergoing a panic mode, and the idea that public markets will soon get to see this is the President of the United States whose hand is on the till of economic policy in this country, you know what? The best thing she could do is probably what she's done as vice president. She didn't do very much as vice president. People have leveled that as a critique. I have a lot of gratitude as an American that she didn't do much as a vice president. The same thing when it comes to her musings on economic policy. I think the country and the markets are better off if she stays quiet, as long as she doesn't get to the presidency.
Back to the point, the empty vessel will get filled up with other ideas. Vivek, thank you so much. All right, up next, Secret Service had a bombshell report on Friday, but now stunning new details show it's a lot worse than we thought. Don't go away.
Hi. Jim Caviezel here. You know, St. John Paul II profoundly impacted my life. And I just finished recording some incredible new meditations on his life on the Hallow app. This content is incredible. Why don't you join us in the St. John Paul II Challenge? It'll change your life. Download Hallow and join me today. God bless you.
Imagine a future where plastic is not wasted, but instead remade over and over into the things that keep our food fresher, our families safer, and our planet cleaner. To help us get there, America's plastic makers are investing billions of dollars to create innovative products and new recycling technologies for sustainable change. Because when you push for smarter solutions, big things can happen.
Cerevital Advanced has been such a game changer for me.
Cerevital Advanced increases your body's own youth hormone, reduces wrinkles, and promotes weight loss.
I see such a difference in my skin.
I notice fewer wrinkles. My skin looks healthier. It was easier to get lean.
I literally shed a few pounds in the first couple of weeks.
It does give me that feeling of just being radiantly alive.
Cerevital Advanced, the #1 anti-aging therapy in America.
Most guys get serious eye bags as they get older. But most guys don't do anything about it because most guys don't really understand skincare. They think it's too expensive and they don't believe that anything actually works. But here's the thing. Most guys are wrong because there are actually a few ways to reduce your eye bags, and one of the easiest, Particle 6-in-1 face cream, actually works really well. And most guys actually can afford it. Because it's 6-in-1 formula means you're getting 6 products packed into one. Just wash your face and then massage in Particle for 30 seconds. Before you know it, you're looking younger than, well, most guys. But forget about most guys. Just be you, but a younger version of you. You can order right now at particlemen.com. We've got free shipping in the United States, plus 30-day money-back guarantee.
It's the Cabinet Palooza sale at Cabinets to Go.
All in-stock cabinet collections are buy one, get one free. Get your dream kitchen for as low as just $155 per month. Hurry, this buy one, get one free sale ends soon.
Cabinets to Go. Wow for less.
Borderie ships the only fully arranged cheese and charcuterie boards nationwide, so you can send the perfect gift for every occasion. The perfect gift to send for birthdays, the perfect gift to say thank you, the perfect gift to bring to a party. Featuring chef-selected ingredients from around the world, Borderie boards are handmade, fresh daily, and shipped to your door overnight. With themed boards for every holiday and occasion, Borderie is guaranteed to impress, whether you're gifting or hosting. Send a board to someone you love today at Borderie.com.
Life doesn't stop for a cold.
Honey.
Honey. DayQuil Severe Honey. Powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste. DayQuil Honey, the honeylicious daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, power through your day medicine.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At X-Chair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. With our groundbreaking Elemax technology, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience. At X-Chair, we've got our eye on the future of work, so you can focus on the present. Visit xchair.com to find out how you can own an X-Chair for only $20 a month. xchair.com.
If your goal is to lose weight fast with an easy-to-follow, simple plan, you got it. With Nutrisystem Complete. Want it at a super low price? You got it. Get a month of delicious meals and snacks for just $249.99. That's a $60 savings on our 1-month weight loss plan. 28 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and snacks. You get it all for a super low price during our big summer sale. For a limited time, enter promo code SHINE to get your Nutrisystem Complete plan for just $249.99.
I'm Landon DePasquale, digital strategist at AmericanEagle.com. Our clients have complex website and digital needs. Mecum Auctions needed an engaging web presence to boost business growth and elevate the experience of their live and online auctions. We solve digital challenges like this all the time. We re-platformed and enhanced their website, which has been built with the same sort of craftsmanship and performance as an elite sports car. For complete website and digital solutions, go to AmericanEagle.com.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
It is plainly obvious to me that we didn't have access to certain information, not by anybody's fault. It just so happened that there was a sense of urgency, that there might have been radio traffic that we missed.
Might have missed? Well, it's so much worse than Secret Service originally let on. The Washington Post is reporting that to get important urgent messages about Mr. Crooks to the agency, a local commander had to pick up his cell phone and call a state trooper who would then tell the Secret Service, like a game of telephone tag. This happened 3 times that afternoon, including when a local counter sniper radioed about a young white male lurking near the AGR building at about 5:42, and that they had then lost sight of him. It even happened when, 30 seconds before Trump was shot, a local officer radioed the command center that the shooter was on the roof and armed. Well, that message never got to the Secret Service command post. Joining me now, Frank Loveridge, former Secret Service special agent in charge. Frank, now, apparently in Butler, Pennsylvania, cell service can be quite spotty, and in some instances, it did not work at all. So how does the Secret Service usually set up a command post that is so far from the local police, especially in those more rural areas where the cell service isn't great?
Well, Laura, let me thank you for having me on tonight. First thing I want to tell you is the proper protocols is to have one command post, a security room in which all assets are in that room with radios ready to transfer any information that might be critical. So we get situational awareness real time. And that didn't happen. Sensitive and critical information should never be passed on a cell phone because of one thing. When you're not paying attention, when you're typing a message, sending it and getting it to someone that has to pull it up and read it, that's too much of a delay in time when you have critical information that needs to be passed. And it's a common practice to make sure that everyone's there in that command post to pass that information on.
All right, so everyone's used to like seeing Secret Service with their earpieces, and you know that's what we see. We say, oh, we feel better when we see people with earpieces because we feel like they're getting information. But it all can't come in at once, correct? It has to be funneled through one channel.
It does.
But if it's not, then what happens?
Well, our network is an encrypted network, and it's internal. We're not getting information passed from the locals. That's why we depend on them to pass the information to us at one central point. Hey, look, at 4:26 p.m., we knew this guy was a special interest. And then at 5:42 p.m., it basically became more important to see him because he's using a rangefinder now to sight towards the stage. So Secret Service should have had information, or even our counter snipers. The U.S. Secret Service counter snipers and the local counter snipers were not communicating, according to acting director Ron Rowe. So that's a huge problem and breakdown on that. And then what happened is we lost the individual for 20 minutes.
Well, Frank, I have to just share this issue with the text messages, which I just only saw. They were trying to text out a photo of Crooks, and that wouldn't go through at about 5:47. It says, units be advised, internet and cell service is down. Another officer on that channel said a minute later, your picture is probably not going to go through because I don't have any service. That was a sheriff's deputy at 5:49. Wow.
That's why we don't rely on that. We don't rely on cell phone coverage because you can't trust it. You need to get it over the radio and get it to the people that need it quickly.
Well, Frank, there are so many more questions, and it's very curious that we haven't gotten answers. Weeks later, still, we're waiting for them. Frank, great to see you. Thank you. All right, coming up, Joe Biden has, well, is this a warning? Does this qualify as a warning to Iran? We'll play it for you. We're on the brink of World War III. No big deal. That's next.
Before revolution, before America, before destiny came calling, he was George.
You have ambitions. I have pride, sir.
A pioneer, a soldier, a leader on the rise.
Ready yourselves, the enemy is here! Get the general out of here, now!
This is the story of the greatest American before there was an America. This is the story of George. George, Rise of a Revolutionary, streaming now on Fox Nation.
Michael lost 20 pounds with LifeMD.
I've always wanted to lose weight, but I never figured out the right way to do it. I did a cleanse, and I said, I can't do this anymore. And I asked a couple buddies, I said, how do I lose this weight? And the guy goes, LifeMD. Got on the computer immediately, and probably the easiest thing I've ever done. The medication comes in the mail, and it's very easy to use. I've been able to live my normal lifestyle, and I've lost 20 pounds already. I now come home, spend time with my kids, and I've never felt better. Changed my life.
Check your eligibility in minutes at GetLifeMD.com.
When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code for our $25 extravaganza. Order $75 and over, your entire order ships absolutely free.
How do you make the most flavorful and delicious pasta sauce? At Botticelli, we grow our own tomatoes in Italy, then pick them fresh and rush them to our own kitchens, where we create farm-to-table pasta sauce in small batches, using only real, fresh ingredients. At Botticelli, we don't use artificial flavors, added sugars, or preservatives because nothing beats fresh. Only Botticelli can give your family a truly authentic Italian farm-to-table dinner. Get it at any retailer near you.
I still love to surf, snowboard, and of course skate. So I take Cunol Magnesium to support my muscle and bone health. Cunol's extra strength, high absorption magnesium helps me get the full benefits of magnesium. Cunol, the brand I trust.
There is no better example of strength and resolve than President Trump, and it's time to show your kids that nothing will stop Trump from fighting for America in 2024. Order the free Kids Guide to President Trump at freetrumpguide.com. That's freetrumpguide.com.
Questions still surround the Secret Service.
Everyone's getting a little suspicious because everyone's now caught lying.
Josh Hawley sounds off on the latest in the investigation tonight on Jesse Waters Primetime.
We planned well for retirement, but I wish we had more cash.
You think those two have any idea?
That they can sell their life insurance policy for cash, so they're basically sitting on a gold mine? I don't think they have a clue.
That's crazy.
Well, not everyone knows Coventry's helped thousands of people sell their policies for cash, even term policies.
I can't believe they're just sitting up there.
Sitting on all this cash.
If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, you can sell all or part of it to Coventry, even a term policy, for cash or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums.
Someone needs to tell them that they're sitting on a gold mine and you have no idea. Hey guys, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Come on, do you hear that?
I don't hear anything anymore.
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today at 800-798-6200 or visit coventrydirect.com.
This bakery needs new equipment fast to keep up with demand. So they're going to On Deck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and, if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
Force Factor Total Beets is the #1 beets brand in America. That's why friends and family recommend Total Beets. Now you can find Total Beets blood pressure chews at Walmart, so you can boost nitric oxide, support blood pressure, and improve heart health. Rush to Walmart and find Total Beets.
Let me tell you, we're very close to a world war. The Middle East is ready to blow up.
Joining me now, Mike Pompeo, former Trump Secretary of State, Fox News contributor, as the world waits with bated breath. Mr. Secretary, Blinken reportedly told the G7 that this attack from Iran and Hezbollah is imminent. What should Americans be feeling tonight with Biden and Kamala in charge?
It's great to be with you, Laura. It is a perilous time. It's a perilous time not only for people who are living in Israel or the broader Middle East, but for all of us. We have an administration where the president was insufficiently capable of performing his duties, that he decided not to run again, and a vice president who has allowed terrorists across our border and the Chinese Communist Party to run over the administration. And so as we see these tensions continue to increase in the Middle East and the Israelis attempting to defend their own sovereignty in America that's refused to defend its own, I think we are all at a heightened risk, and we are at a very perilous moment in American history and, frankly, history for Europe and the world.
I mean, today, in a day like today, Mr. Secretary, we had a market meltdown. We have this imminent attack. We don't know what will happen in the Middle East. People still very concerned about the border, millions of people here illegally. I mean, it would be nice, would it not, to have a president and vice president capable or interested in addressing the country. You don't have to have all the answers, but a little reassurance and a little strength that it signals to the rest of the world, don't mess with us. But we got nothing. We got, I guess they're in the Situation Room. I don't know what they're doing, playing hangman. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, Laura, it's actually, I think, worse than that. Not only have we lost deterrence, but the policies that the administration's put in place, and frankly, what we're seeing happen today is fueling this fire, right? We provided billions of dollars to the Iranians. We've allowed Vladimir Putin to run free. We've told the Ukrainians you can't do the basics of using weapon systems to defend yourself. These are all things that give the bad guys courage and tell our friends and allies, hey, don't hang around the Americans. That's a dangerous place to be. You run that against the backdrop of what happened in Afghanistan, the debacle there, and you have it exactly right. Not only are we not deterring our adversaries, we are fueling their incentive to harm America and harm our friends and allies around the world as well, Laura.
And Mr. Secretary, as we saw Kamala kind of give a big stiff arm to Netanyahu, you know, she was at that sorority event, couldn't show up for the speech, then she meets with him. What kind of message did that send to the Middle East?
Yeah, there are multiple audiences. First of all, the direct audience, Hamas, it encourages them. It says, stay in your tunnels, keep fighting, even if you're getting some of your senior leaders killed by the Israelis. The Americans are going to do nothing, and the Iranians, who are in command and control, whether that's of Hezbollah or Hamas or the Houthis, say, game on, this is our moment. And I can assure you, the Gulf Arab states watch that as well and say, my goodness, if we are counting on the United States to be our support, our backup, if we need help, they're going to be no place. They're incapable of deterring Iran, and they'll play footsie with them in ways that are detrimental to the United States and every one of us here at home.
Yeah, clearly just worried about the election and just don't want to make any mistakes, so just don't speak. Just don't speak at all. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Secretary, you're the person I wanted to talk to most tonight. Thank you so much. All right, Kamala Harris's team looking for laughs while the second gentleman makes an alarming admission. Seen and Unseen with Raymond Arroyo next.
Work. Play. Blink. Relief. Work. Play. Blink. Relief.
The only 3-in-1 extended relief formula for dry eyes.
Blink.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Look at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
You too can feel better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Call or go online now and get 35% off your first order.
Look at this. I love my new body. I love my new shape.
This summer, feel confident in anything with Sonobello One-Visit Permanent Fat Removal.
I saw the results immediately. I feel amazing.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Call or go to sonobello.com.
It will change your life. It did for me.
In the world's poorest places, children with cleft conditions live in darkness and shame. They're shunned, outcast, living in pain. You can reach out and change the life of a suffering child right now. A surgery that takes as little as 45 minutes. And your act of love can change a child's life forever. Please call, scan, or go online to give a new smile. Thousands of children are waiting.
Have you ever thought of getting a walk-in tub for you or someone you love? Now is a great time to take a look at getting a Safe Step walk-in tub. With Safe Step's standard heated seat and new fast fill faucet, you can enjoy a nice warm bath up to 20% faster.
Safe Step walk-in tubs are built to maximize safety, so you can stay in your home and enjoy the comforts of bathing again.
Call now to receive 15% off, plus a free shower package.
He was only 47. Aneurysm. Did he have life insurance? Do you? No. You gotta get on it. Check out SelectQuote. Trust me, the peace of mind, it's worth it.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage you need easy for less than $1 a day. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit or call SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Before you consider drastic weight loss measures with dangerous side effects, try Golo.
My doctor prescribed a weight loss drug, but as soon as I stopped taking it, I gained all that weight back.
I lost 210 pounds with gastric bypass surgery, only to gain it all back with Golo. I have completely transformed my relationship with food. No shots, no medicine, no surgery is gonna help you with that.
Whether you need to lose 10, 20, 50, or over 100 pounds, lose it the right way with Golo.
At Biz2 Credit, we know you need to fund your business on time. When business is good, it could be time to expand.
Time for Biz2 Credit.
When bills are piling up, you might need extra cash to get ahead.
Time for Biz2 Credit.
Our fast and convenient online process makes it easy to get the funding you need. When it's time to take your business to new heights, Biz2 Credit makes it possible. Go to biz2credit.com/time or call 800-200-2891. Biz2 Credit, funding what's next.
Are you still interested in a solar-powered generator? Because pay special attention, because I'm going to do something that until recently we've never done. I'm going to offer this solar generator with 2 times the power, and if you want, you can even make it expandable. And I'm even giving away a free solar panel and an easy optional payment plan in case you're ready to prepare now but need to break up the financial commitment. That is something I can do today while we have these units in stock. Go to 4patriots.com now.
WeatherTech products are designed and manufactured in America using only American raw materials. Most competitors make things 7,000 miles away and then wonder why they don't fit. With WeatherTech in your vehicle, you may hear angels singing as you marvel. How do they do it? Simple. American technology and American workers deliver quality, not imported junk for a
While history was being made, every night, America turned to one place. Broadcast, cable, it doesn't matter. When critical events unfold, the country turns to Fox News Channel. America is watching.
It's time for Seen and Unseen, where we reveal the stories behind the headlines. For that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, we have seen Kamala events for white guys, for black women, and now there's a new virtual gathering?
Laura, the last time I saw this many Zoom events, it was 2020, and my kids were in their rooms in class, okay? This latest Harris event is an odd one because of the organizer. I mean, if I told you there's a comedians event, you'd figure some comic arranged it, right? We all know the classic taglines, no respect, can we talk? Well, this is the man who coined that famous phrase, I know bang, bang, fang, fang. That comedic genius, Eric Swalwell.
The team that has the most fun in sports and politics is the team that always wins. And that's why I have launched Comics for Kamala, a live, free Zoom. And so you're going to see your favorite comics talking about the importance of this upcoming election.
I guess Swalwell has given us some big laughs, Laura, over the years. The Russian collusion bit, Breaking Wind on Chris Matthews' show, the knee slappers never end. And Ben Stiller, Rosie O'Donnell, Kathy Griffin, Tom Arnold, and more are expected at this big laugh fest tonight. God help us.
Yeah, it's hilarious that most Americans say they struggle to save for a rainy day, and what, 48% aren't sure whether they're going to ever be able to retire, or that young people are kind of giving up on buying a starter home. That's hilarious. Yeah. agree.
Well, yeah, forget Kamala, comics for Kamala. She needs budget cutters for Kamala. I mean, the gross government spending, that's what really led us to this economic freefall. And by the way, this economy is falling faster than those Miss USA contestants over the weekend. Did you see this? They were falling literally off the stage. The culture predicts everything, Laura. When multiple Miss USA contestants are tumbling, look out, America. They were all okay, by the way.
What were they? Was it? What was going? That was horrible. Why were they falling? Was it just a?
I don't know. The hole in the stage. I don't know.
Well,
Mr.
No one
Turn.
told them there's a hole in the stage. All right. Speaking of this comics for Kamala thing, Raymond, I noticed that that Veep actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's promising to be extra involved in the Harris campaign.
But Laura, isn't she already involved? Yeah, I mean, her Veep character, Selena Meyer, was the leading cultural indicator for Kamala Harris's entire run. She prepared the way years ago.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. But given time, it can be understood.
It is a reflection of our moment and our time, right? And present culture is the way we express how we're feeling about the moment.
I'm asking you to meet me at the station and join me as we board a train bound for a place called the future.
Laura,
so
it's like
eerie.
the Veep writers
Speechwriters.
scripted. It's like they scripted every address Kamala Harris has ever recited. I mean, it's like prophecy. Watching it again is really scary. But I would stay as far away from this actress and Veep as I possibly could if I had anything to do with this campaign. I guess they missed the irony.
Well, Raymond, remember in the Atlantic magazine they said today that it's her oddball charm. So it's like Elaine from Seinfeld. We should just go along. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We have serious, World War III, meltdown of the economy, millions of people here illegally, inner city crumbling. No, just oddball charm. That's all that matters. That's the TikTokization of America. Thank you very much.
Speaking of oddball, the second gentleman is facing scrutiny for his less than gentlemanly conduct. Over the weekend, Kamala Harris's husband, the man who MSNBC hailed as the antidote to toxic masculinity, admitted he had an affair with his children's nanny, whom he impregnated. This led to his divorce from his first wife and throws new light on Doug Emhoff's interviews. Listen.
There's too much of toxicity. It's masculine toxicity out there. Strength is how you show your love for people.
As you think about sort of the role of men in pushing for abortion access, is there anything more you would say to them?
It's affecting men's ability to plan their lives.
Laura, I mean, look, this is embarrassing. People do terrible things, but it ultimately is a distraction. All of this, RFK's Bear story, the couch, and this. What matters is what you highlighted at the top of the show. This economy in a free fall, and we should be focused on that and policy, not these sideshows.
Yeah, we need leaders. TikTok is fun for people, but that's not the presidency. Raymond, thank you so much. All right, before we go, I want to wish a belated happy 100th birthday to Colonel Yosif Volstin. He was born in Ukraine in 1924. He's a friend of a good friend of mine, and Yosif is the highest-ranking Russian World War II vet. Remember, they were our allies, living in the United States. Now, before becoming colonel, he served as a mechanic working on the American-made King Cobra aircraft used on the Russian front. He's a Russian Jew. He was allowed to emigrate here in 1981 in a grain swap. He's a rabid sports fan and an Angle fan. Happy birthday, Yosif. That's it for us tonight. Jesse's next.
Welcome to Jesse Waters Primetime tonight.
The Dow opened down more than 1,000 points. A quadruple-digit loss now.
Take a deep breath. It is very scary.
The Kamala crash. What it means for November.
That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
There's too much of toxicity. It's masculine toxicity out there.
Kamala's husband got the nanny pregnant.
Can we just give it up again for my husband?
Hit a bear and killed it. I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van. I was going to skin the bear. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do?
RFK Jr. and Beargate. Plus,
You on crack?
Fox News alert, an emergency meeting in the White House Situation Room today, where Kamala Harris looks like a nervous wreck. As the Middle East is on the verge of spiraling into a regional war, an American carrier strike group has been rushed into the Gulf as Iran could strike Israel at any moment. American soldiers have already been injured this afternoon in a barrage of rocket attacks on a military base in Iraq. This while Americans woke up at home to a bloodbath.
The Dow opened down more than 1,000 points, fueling fears of a recession amid a global market meltdown.
Quadruple-digit loss now in the Dow, 1,000 points.
Never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
A rise like that is historically a sign that a recession is imminent.
The economy is either in or close to a recession.
What you're seeing right now in the stock market is what Americans have been feeling for the last 3 years. It's just a manifestation of it right now.
Take a deep breath. It is very scary.
Over $1 trillion wiped out as Bidenomics looks like it's blowing up right before the election. Someone must be proud.
That is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Trump saying today, stock markets are crashing, job numbers are terrible. We are headed to the World War III, and we have two of the most incompetent leaders in history. This is not good. He calls it the Kamala crash. Economists say she detonated the biggest debt bomb in American history when she cast the tie-breaking vote on the $2 trillion spending bill.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50, the Senate being equally divided. The Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the concurrent resolution as amended is adopted.
Kamala and Biden raided the Treasury, handed out corporate welfare, imported 10 million foreign workers, declared a war on energy, and then patted themselves on the back.
Mr. President, what do you want your legacy for Gen Z to be?
Cure the economy.
Two economic illiterate tax and spend puppets gave a chip company, Intel, $8 billion of your money. And right under their noses, Intel said thanks and laid off 15,000 workers. This AI bubble, the only thing that's keeping the market afloat, that Bidenomics funded with your tax dollars, could pop before the election. Americans are maxed out on credit cards and are taking on second jobs to keep up, but could soon lose both jobs because of the recklessly corrupt mismanagement of our economy, which will probably end up in another big tech bailout. Watch. The election was already about the economy. And if today's bloodbath continues, voters deserve answers from Hayden Harris, who hasn't done an interview since June. A lot's happened since June. And is Kamala even capable of explaining capital markets, labor markets, the global economy? In the book, This Will Not Pass, the authors say while Biden was negotiating with Republicans for $1 trillion in new spending, Kamala piped in out of nowhere and asked for $4 trillion. And Biden dismissed her comment immediately. Imagine if she had gotten her way. She's never had a job in the private sector and doesn't even know why inflation even happens.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
Thanks. She doesn't even understand what makes prices go up and down. And if she were elected, she'd have stewardship over the most technologically advanced economy in human history, yet believes when you save things on your computer onto the cloud, it actually goes into the clouds.
No longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us. right? It's no longer in a physical place.
With Economics for Dummies at her bedside table and Morning Joe on her DVR, does it really even matter what Kamala knows? It doesn't. She's told what to do. This is what she's really all about. Watch.
We have to stay active. And, you know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
This is Kamala's economic philosophy. Equity. She wants to redistribute the wealth and give it to people based on what they look like.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
Ending up in the same place is communism, and it's unfeasible. But the arrogance to believe that you, Kamala Harris, who's never run a business, is going to re-engineer the entire U.S. economy so that everybody ends up in the same place, makes the same amount, has the same stuff, is a fantasy and goes against human nature, which she doesn't understand. But they won't let Kamala ever say that again. They have to make this election about caring instead of competence. The Democrat machine is creating fomentum around a woman they tried to strip off the ticket just last year. That's why Obama didn't want Kamala. And his people are telling CNN Democrats are being irrational.
There's a lot of irrational exuberance on the side of on the Democratic side of the aisle right now because there was despair for some period of time about what November was going to look like. Now people feel like there's a chance. But it is absolutely Trump's race to lose right now. Everybody should be sober about that on the Democratic side.
Democrats are still buzzed from the coup, but are about to wake up to a vicious hangover when they realize they're nominating a radical San Francisco socialist to debate a businessman during a recession that she caused and can't explain. Senator Lindsey Graham is here. All right, Senator, I mean, rough day in the market and rough day overseas in the Middle East. What's happening here?
Yeah. Well, the worst is yet to come, unfortunately. Well, they're reaping what they've sown for the last 4 years. On the inflation side, supply and demand, Kamala. If you restrict American oil and gas drilling, offshore and onshore, you do away with the Keystone Pipeline, you produce less oil and gas, you're going to have higher prices. When you overregulate the economy, it's hard to create jobs. When you flood the economy from Washington with money, that doesn't create jobs, you create inflation. So what's happening in the Mideast is when we withdrew from Afghanistan, it sent every jihadist, radical Islamic terrorist on steroids. Then we gave the Ayatollah $80 billion of money and oil by relieving sanctions. So those two things have led to an empowered Iran who is wreaking havoc on the Mideast. At home, the broken border and inflation and spending policies have come home to roost. In August of last year, Schumer said the Inflation Reduction Act would show up and help us all this summer. Well, it didn't. So I worry about our friends in Israel tonight. To my friends in Israel tonight, if you get attacked by Hezbollah and Iran at the same time, make sure you hit Iran and hit them hard.
So right now, Americans are stretched financially. They can't afford back-to-school supplies. 50% of parents just can't do it.
Right.
Can Kamala explain what's happening? People are looking at their 401ks like they just lost a lot. Can she explain exactly what's going on at a level that makes people feel comfortable that she knows what she's talking about?
Well, we'll never know until somebody asks her a question, will we?
No.
So what we've heard is just gibberish. You know, when she tried to explain inflation and why we may be on the verge of a recession, she has no idea what she is talking about. But she was the last person in the room before President Biden decided to withdraw all of our forces from Afghanistan. She encouraged that decision. She should not ever be in a room again making an important decision. She opposed pre-invasion sanctions on Russia to deter the invasion Russia against Ukraine. She sat on the sidelines while some nut job called Israel genocidal country and said nothing back. She is the border czar. More people have been poisoned by fentanyl on her watch than is the leading cause of death in America from 18 to 35-year-old young people. Enough fentanyl come across our border on her watch to kill everybody in the world. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
She doesn't, and she's going to have to, one of these days, Senator, answer for it.
In my lifetime.
We're waiting.
In my lifetime,
We're still waiting. Thank you so much. It's not easy overthrowing a president. It takes a village. The Clintons, Obamas, Schumer, and the ringleader, Nancy Pelosi, all came together to kick Biden out. Pelosi was finally asked about it.
Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It's said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody. What I'm saying is I had confidence that the president would make the proper choice for our country, whatever that would be. And I said that, whatever that is, we'll go with.
Biden didn't make a choice. He was staring down the barrel of a gun. Pelosi and the Democrats went for what Biden cared about most, his legacy. They brandished the 25th Amendment, threatened to yank his presidential library, and deployed a coordinated media strike to tarnish his rep. Biden knows the game and is never speaking to Nancy again.
Have you spoken to President Biden since he dropped out?
No, I have not.
Do you hope to?
Yes, I hope to.
Yeah.
We're all busy.
Is everything okay with your relationship?
You'd have to ask him.
We know how Washington works. They gave 10% to the big guy and showered him with flattery.
Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Leslie Stahl, who believes everything Democrats tell her. Laptop wasn't real, COVID was natural. Couldn't believe Biden on Mount Rushmore. I'm sure they'll build him a statue that the Arab Spring breakers will tear down on a hot summer night. But the Democrat patronage mill is in full swing. Obama was forced to endorse Kamala, so now his top strategist is being paid to run the Harris campaign. Bill and Hillary endorsed. Now their daughter, Chelsea, is angling to be the ambassador to Great Britain if Kamala wins. It's usually a gig reserved for major fundraisers or well-connected WASPs, not for Clinton nepotism. After talking about all this, I feel like I have to take a shower. Charlie Hertz, a Fox News contributor. Mount Rushmore. Charlie, Biden on Mount Rushmore. Can you believe it?
Yeah, even Leslie Stahl couldn't swallow that one. That was a whopper that was just a little bit too big. But, you know, I think you have put your finger on something that I think is the most important thing about the moment right here. Everything you just said is exactly true about what Democrats did to get rid of Joe Biden. But the real thing that they did was they dried up the money. Because the Democrat Party, you know, you cannot like Donald Trump. I get people that don't like Donald Trump. But one thing you have to give Donald Trump credit for is he has broken the stranglehold that money has always had on politics in Washington. He beat Hillary Clinton after getting massively outspent by her in 2016. If you want to know who the big money party is, who is still in the grips of the big money donors today, it's the Democrat Party. And that's how Nancy Pelosi and Democrat leaders managed to get Joe Biden to quit. They dried up his money. And as soon as the big money bag men in the Democrat Party said they closed their purses to him, then he had no choice. It dried up. That's why Joe Biden has not spoken to Nancy Pelosi again and probably will never speak to her again. Although I do suspect that part of the whole deal will wind up with a massive massive payout to the Biden family.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what exactly that is. But you're so right. Trump's in touch with the people. He can fundraise off grassroots all day. Nancy knows Biden can't do it, knows Kamala can't do it, so they're just beholden to the highest bidder, and they always will be, and they just stop cutting checks. Here's more sound from Queen Pelosi. Listen.
You're both San Franciscans. What's your relationship like?
Our relationship is fine.
As somebody coming up in San Francisco politics and then more broadly California politics, did she ask you for mentorship? Did you give her advice?
Actually, the fact is, in that first race, I was for the incumbent. And I was for him because I respected him and his family. They're an established, very progressive family in San Francisco, and they supported me. And if anybody knows anything about me, I'm loyal. She understood that.
Once that was over, once that primary was over?
Well, it's over, it's over.
No, but I'm saying once it was over, did she reach out to you for any advice or mentorship?
Well, that isn't, that we're in, we all have our own, I always say to people, be yourself.
So they hate each other.
Yeah, you know, and here's another thing that has not been sort of revealed. You mean to tell me that Nancy Pelosi and the bigwigs in the Democrat Party cashiered a sitting president and never had a conversation with Kamala Harris, who they immediately installed in his place for the election beforehand? Give me a break. I guarantee you, there's no way they did that without that conversation with Kamala Harris.
And Kamala knows she owes them everything. And I mean
everything.
Everything. All right, we'll see what the payback looks like. Charlie Hurt, thanks as always.
That was good. Thanks, man.
New Secret Service whistleblowers, that's straight ahead. Plus, Johnny asks about Kamala.
Who is the real Kamala Harris?
Frick, frack, whatever. You know, one day it's frack and one day it's frickin' frick, frack. That's Kamala for you. She'll just flip it up.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salonpas. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
He sent me to Febreze.
Hi, I use Febreze Fade Defy Plug.
And I use this.
Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it smells first day fresh for 50 days.
50 days?
And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. Febreze Plug.
Hi! Need new glasses? Buy one pair, get one free at VisionWorks. How can you see me squinting? I can't, I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
Buy one pair, get one free for back to school. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
If I'm going to do this, it won't be a bad show.
You seem pretty good for a gringo.
Hope you're not a mind reader, because if you are, I'm about to get in my face.
Why don't you give up?
I never give up.
High blood pressure is known as the silent killer. Now there's Respirit, the first ever FDA-cleared medical device, clinically proven to lower blood pressure.
The results I got were astounding. The blood pressure this morning was 110/79.
Multiple clinical trials report 82% of Respirit users reduced high blood pressure, and it was cleared to be sold without a prescription. We are so sure that Respirit will work for you, we guarantee it.
It's the best investment I've ever made in my life.
Go to Respirit.com now.
I'm Sholay, and I lost 75 pounds with Golo. I went from a size 20 to a size 6. Before Golo, nothing seemed to work. I was exercising for over an hour every day. It was really discouraging. But Golo is so easy, the weight just falls off.
Tommy Copper's shoulder support bra will be your new favorite.
I love how I feel when I wear it.
Available in 2 styles you'll want to wear every day for all-day comfort.
Why would I wear any other bra?
Go to TommyCopper.com and upgrade your bra today.
Do you need space?
You need the General. With our high demand and steel prices going up soon, General Steel is now offering some of its best pricing in its 4-decade history. Waiting will cost you thousands. Save big on popular pre-engineered steel buildings like our 100 by 200 fulfillment center and warehouse, 100 by 100 manufacturing buildings, and 80 by 160 column-free commercial centers. The General even offers personal spaces like this garage or this shop, all tailored to your needs. And don't forget our 50-year warranty is included on all buildings. This shocking low pricing event won't last long, so call now. General Steel buildings are American-made, feature pre-cut, pre-welded beams, and 26-gauge steel walls and roof panels, all designed to bolt together easily, saving you construction cost and time, so you can be in the new building you need quickly. With our high demand and steel prices going up soon, waiting will cost you thousands. Call 1-866-91-STEEL to get the building system you need delivered this summer. That's 1-866-91-STEEL.
Part 2 of Ainsley's Usha Vance interview.
I was able to grow up among people from all sorts of backgrounds and just feel this core identity as an American.
The one-on-one continues on Fox and Friends.
Most guys get serious eye bags as they get older. But most guys don't do anything about it because most guys don't really understand skincare. They think it's too expensive and they don't believe that anything actually works. But here's the thing. Most guys are wrong because there are actually a few ways to reduce your eye bags, and one of the easiest, Particle 6-in-1 face cream, actually works really well. And most guys actually can afford it. Because it's 6-in-1 formula means you're getting 6 products packed into one. Just wash your face and then massage in Particle for 30 seconds. Before you know it, you're looking younger than, well, most guys. But forget about most guys. Just be you, like a younger version of you. You can order right now at particlemen.com. We've got free shipping in the United States, plus 30-day money-back guarantee.
Are you ready for an electric joyride? It's just a few clicks away. Introducing electric e-bikes. Experience what it's like to feel like a kid again. And feel confident with the best-selling electric bike in the U.S. We have every type of bike for every type of rider. Ships to your doorstep for free, little to no assembly required. Hop on to your next adventure. Only at electricebikes.com. Electric e-bikes, affordably awesome.
Fox News alert, Secret Service whistleblowers are coming out of the woodwork, furious about last week's press conference where the director, Ron Rowe, admitted the agency failed but wouldn't fire anyone. Trump's entire protective detail's been an illusion. The rally in Butler was the first time the Secret Service sent counter snipers to a Trump event. And those snipers were communicating by text message without Wi-Fi. Only the locals had radios, and according to the Washington Post, the Secret Service wasn't even in the same room as they were. They were in a completely different command center on the opposite side of the farm. Basically, the Secret Service was playing a big game of telephone while Crooks was stalking the grounds. Who signed off on this disastrous plan? According to whistleblowers who've spoken to Senator Josh Hawley, it all comes down to the lead site agent, who they claim is inexperienced and incompetent. Senator Josh Hawley's been speaking with these whistleblowers, and he joins us now. Senator, what have these whistleblowers been telling your office?
Well, what they've been saying, Jesse, is that this individual, the site agent, the lead agent, was known to the Trump campaign to be inexperienced, to be ineffectual, to be, frankly, incompetent at their job. Well, I'm also told by whistleblowers that on that day, she was not enforcing the normal security protocols. She was not checking people's IDs. She did not use Secret Service agents. Most of the agents there that day were not Secret Service agents. They were Homeland Security agents. And get this, Jesse, most of them had never worked a rally before. And yet this is who she chose to staff the event with, and she didn't train them or integrate them. From top to bottom, it was a total disaster. Jesse, it is a miracle, not only that Trump is alive, but that more good Americans were not killed. It's unbelievable.
You're saying that the site agent in charge of this security in Butler wasn't checking IDs? What do you mean? She was just letting people in?
That is what whistleblowers tell me, is that IDs were not checked to allow individuals into secure areas, Jesse. In other words, it was a total free-for-all. Whistleblowers portray to me a circumstance, a situation that was totally out of control, where people were milling around, including in what were supposed to be highly secure areas. Nobody knew who they were. By the way, it was also the lead site agent's job to make sure that the line of sight for where Trump was clear, that agents could see all angles. And she didn't do that. In fact, I'm told that the line of sight was obstructed, which means that agents from different angles couldn't really see around Trump, couldn't see potential dangers to Trump. This is pretty textbook stuff, Jesse. And what whistleblowers say to me is none of it was done properly. None of it was done by the book. And frankly, when you know all that, it's amazing more people weren't killed. This person needs to be fired, as does anybody who had leadership on that day.
This person is still doing security. They're still in charge of security for political events. Why aren't they sidelined and under investigation themselves?
This is exactly what the whistleblowers who are coming to me, Jesse, want to know. And in fact, we know that this individual is still doing all those things because the director confirmed it. He told me under oath that, yeah, this individual is still working events. In fact, he said still doing investigations, which raises the question, is she investigating herself?
Right.
I mean, this is insane. And I'll just say this, Jesse.
Sure.
Whistleblowers are coming forward from the Secret Service because they can't believe what leadership is doing. They cannot believe that the Secret Service is not taking action to clear out the rot, frankly. They're scared to death this is going to happen again. We can't let it happen again. We've got to get the facts.
Was this site agent for Butler, was she one of these Cheadle hires? You know how Cheadle has an agenda. She just promotes people without merit. Was that person a person like that?
I don't know the answer to that. All I'm told by these whistleblowers is that this individual was inexperienced, that she was known to the campaign to be, frankly, not very good at her job. They had concerns about this individual before the Butler rally. Again, when she was assigned to Butler, the campaign was worried. They thought, uh-oh, this has not gone well before, and my gosh, it didn't go well that day.
All right, well, I'm very glad these whistleblowers are speaking out to your office. Please keep the public posted on some of these developments, because the more and more we hear about it, just the angrier.
But I think more and more voters are waking up to the idea that, no, I want contrast. Are you going to fix what is going on right now? If the answer is no, you don't get my vote simply because you might be slightly less crazy. I'll hold on for somebody that's actually going to fight.
Well, let's jump back to the United States. We have the story from SCNR. As bad as it is in the UK, I hate to tell you, my friends, it could get bad here for similar reasons. Kamala Harris' official website lists no policy positions or platform. The campaign promises to continue protecting our freedoms, delivering justice, and expanding opportunity. So let me get this straight. She has not received a single vote. She was installed at a DNC on a phone call. She has no policy plans or positions. And the funny thing is her campaigning commercials make it sound like she's not even in office right now. So we'll pull up her website. I didn't believe it. When you first go to the website, let me do this. Let's go to KamalaHarris.com. You're greeted with this. Donate to Kamala Harris. Certainly, I will not. And then this is all you have. You can donate. You can join the campaign. There's their information. Meet Kamala Harris, Take Action store. You'd think if you clicked Meet Kamala Harris, you might get something. You don't.
You just get her bio.
But it's vague. It's vague. It says like civil rights. It says reproductive justice or something.
It doesn't even talk about the really fancy neighborhood she lived in Montreal with her mom when her mom was at McGill.
Nothing
they were
in here.
Westmount, which is like this great neighborhood.
Nothing here tells you what her plan is, how she wants to fix things. This is what I'm actually deeply worried about this, because we would have a president who's installed with no positions if she actually wins. This is the Democrats basically sitting there being like, you know, that Communist Party in China, they can get things done. They can build highways overnight. They can seize your property just like that and then build a highway right over it. No worries. The rumor is back in the day, I think Trudeau went there too. Democrats were fawning over the efficiency of authoritarianism. And they were like, if only we could run our government like you do. Mm-hmm. Kamala Harris represents this. The party choice with no policies, vote or else. But I'll throw in this clip. I think this is the right clip. This describes Kamala Harris. This clip, don't play it. Here we go. Describes her whole campaign very well.
You know, we have to stay woke.
Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. You know.
Okay, I'd like to play it again real quick, but I want you to consider one thing as we listen to this again. Why is she laughing? The other hosts of the show at Recode are not laughing at all, and she just starts randomly laughing in the middle of her sentence. There's nothing funny being said. Genuinely, let me play it again and consider, what's this laughter?
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. You know.
Does she have Tourette's? I'm not even joking at this point. That wasn't almost laughing. She was struggling to get... Like, that was weird.
There's a lot of women who do that, just to throw it out there. There's a lot of women who do that when they eat salads, but also when they are concerned that what they're saying doesn't make sense or that they're not going to be taken seriously, or when they're uncomfortable themselves with their own measure of authority.
That's what I was thinking, because I think part of it is that she doesn't have a personality or any idea why she's there. I don't think she really knows what stay woke means. Someone has just given her this
I think she knows what it means for sure. I think that's one of the only things she knows.
I think she knows that and what being progressive is, but I think all slang is lost on Kamala Harris, and that's why she's up there being like, haha, am I using this term correctly? Ha 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 ha. Like, she doesn't know any of it. She just knows that this is a something that works
she also
for
knows
the youth voter.
What it means to be unburdened by what might have been.
I think
she's so unburdened. Let me tell you, she's unburdened in the brain.
I think the real question here is why are you guys all such racist sexists? I mean, that's really what this comes down to. How dare you demand that a presidential candidate have policy positions?
No, it's okay, because I'm actually not able to be racist because I'm a minority.
This is historical.
So it can't be racist.
I would accept that I'm fairly sexist. I'm comfortable with that. I mean, I think you're right. I think Kamala Harris is actually doing the best thing she can do, which is waiting for the voters and probably her, puppeteer strings to tell her what her policies are. Her campaign's only 2 weeks old. How dare she? I mean, she really couldn't just adopt policies on her own, have actual thoughts in her brain.
It's going to be funny when she rolls out Project 47, and it's basically just like a complete rewording of Agenda 47, just like the same thing. It's like, because they have adopted Trump's policies. Hilariously, when Joe Biden wanted to bring in the tariffs, and everyone started showing him his old tweet, they were tweeting at him and other Democrats like, here's Joe Biden saying tariffs are a tax on the poor and mocking Donald Trump for it. Now saying he wants to do the same thing and it's the right policy. I think the problem with Democrats is that they chased themselves on the internet into a corner where they were trying to pander to the corporate press and the far left, which is basically the same thing. And so in order to stay in the limelight in the corporate narrative, they need to appeal themselves to these woke journalists. So they started just saying whatever they thought they wanted to say, which was mostly insane, like defund the police. And then when it actually came time to do the math, they were like, Trump's kind of a moderate. His policies are very popular. So you're going to have to do that. But now what are you campaigning against?
Yeah.
I mean, the boogeyman's they have created for themselves, right? Which is why none of it makes a lot of sense. I think Harris is a weird choice. And what I really would like to hear from are just regular people who think of themselves as Democrat. Like, this person didn't win your vote during the primary. She apparently has all the cash to win this election, or at least to make a splashy entrance into the campaign so late in the game. As far as I know, you probably can't ask your delegate to vote against her. They're going to fall in line. And now she doesn't even have policies for you. I mean, this is the person who the media initially said was calling everyone up and saying, I'm going to earn your vote. Like, no, she's not earning anybody. In fact, the DNC just expects you to fall in line.
Well, Kamala Harris is running on her identity, and that's why there's no policy. illustrations on her campaign website because it's all about her innate characteristic.
And that's why you're a sexist racist if you even question it. I mean, as soon as she became the nominee. I can't remember who I was talking to. I said, let me give you the campaign strategy for the Democratic Party from now until November. It's very, very simple. For about 5 minutes, they're going to try to get you excited about Kamala Harris. That because not even Democrats are excited about her. You want to know how I know? Because ran for president before and didn't even make it to her own state's primary. Like nobody is in Kamala Harris. She didn't have a record as Attorney General in California. She didn't have a record as a U.S. Senator. The first time she got out there, she was trying to roll off of being Barack Obama's pick, and she failed.
Right.
She failed in all of it. Then she became vice president by virtue of her identity. She was given actually a pretty important task, which was go fix the border. Mm-hmm. She failed miserably, didn't even visit it in a timely manner.
Arguably, she did exactly what she wanted to do, which is to let more illegal immigrants in.
Right, but like she's achieved nothing, and now they've got her in this position where, again, who in the Democratic Party that could have actually been a formidable candidate with respect to either debate or policy or record or whatever it was, who is going to be the guy or the gal that says, no, I'm going to step in way of the first black woman being the Democrat nominee for president?
So I got a quick question, right? I'm just perusing the Kamala Harris store, and I couldn't help but notice these models. And I'm just wondering to myself, do you think this model actually was like, I love Kamala, please let me wear the shirt? Or
I thought that shirt was Photoshopped.
What they do is a lot of these models will get paid like $50 to wear a white t-shirt. And then these websites will automatically put this stuff on the shirt. So I'm wondering if this guy, like, there was a company and they were like, hey, you want to be a model, $50? Like, sure. And now he's on Kamala Harris's website. But she does have these really great cups that I really want to buy, but I don't want to give her any money. Childless Cat Lady Club.
Just wait until she loses the election, if she loses, and then buy it.
You'll be able to get it. Really.
Well, like maybe like used or whatever.
It's like the team that doesn't win the Super Bowl.
Or even just buy it once she's done. Because you just, I mean, yes, you'd be giving $35 to pay off the Kamala Harris debt, but
I really want to buy the Childless Cat Lady Club mugs because you send them to women you don't like as an insult. They'll be like, what is this? I'm like, how dare you? Or they'll like it if they're Democrats, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, the problem is buying it actually just gives Kamala Harris money, and, you know, we don't want to be doing that.
That is the snafu there. I mean, I think it's kind of strange that her...
Look at this one. Look at this.
You had that one up earlier. Did the Washington Post make this York sign? Like,
what is this? I want it so bad. It's got question marks.
Do they only send it when they finally?
Maybe they only send it after they.
I only wanted if there's a question mark. Like, how did we get here with Kamala?
It says be one of the first to proudly display your support for Kamala Harris and her running mate, and it's just got question marks and masking tape on it.
It reminds me of when companies do like mystery box sales.
Yeah.
You can buy their the mystery box vice presidential candidate. One of the things that you said was interesting to me, which is like Democrats are not excited about Harris, and I think that's true because we did not see a surge in voter registration.
No, really,
it did not turn out that people were like, wow, great, I will vote for her. I think the people who didn't want to vote for Biden are not excited about, his vice president sliding into his spot and essentially trying to market herself both as a surrogate and as like a more progressive alternative.
Well, you also have to ask the question of, okay, so if they can't get you excited about their candidate, what do they have to do? They have to stoke the hatred for the opposition candidate. And so that's why, you had 1 week of we all need to lower the temperature in the room. And then,
okay, stop being mad at us.
And then 5 minutes later, it's going to go right back to threat to democracy. They're all proto-fascist, everything else, because they have to. They cannot. Nobody's voting for Kamala Harris because they are just so excited about Kamala Harris.
No.
So they got to hate the other guy, and they're going to continue to do that all the way to November.
It's been amazing to me. Libby mentioned this as well, but how much of her campaign immediately. I mean, it's like 15 days old right now, and it's already completely been about identity politics. I mean, there is nothing other than maybe the women rights issue, which I would argue is still kind of an identity politics issue that they are channeling. It's all about race and sex.
Maybe Anna Claire, you'd like to make your own version of this, but you invert guns and girls.
Control girls, not guns. What about control girls with guns?
No.
No.
Let girls have guns.
Let girls have guns.
That's a good
Girls just want to have guns.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
I like
good
that.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Someone's going to make that
should
shirt.
be tie-dye.
I'm going to make it. I've got a GOA conference to go to.
That one's
should
going to
be
sell
like
like crazy.
tie-dyed.
Yeah.
Very Cyndi Lauper. Yeah.
Wow,
And
that is a
steal
that is
the
a good
font
one.
that they had for the
Let me
childless
text my
cat.
wife right now, like, babe, quick, tell Hamilton.
Hopefully she's listening because that's a gold mine right there.
There's some ammunition company that's like racing.
What's crazy too is that Kamala Harris keeps trying to run like she's running against Biden. But like for the past 3.5 years, they've been trying to get us to say Biden-Harris campaign, and now that we're saying it, they're like, no, that wasn't us. That wasn't us.
Like when his administration puts out a statement, they're like, we as well are into this as an independent entity. Like it's so weird.
What's crazy is how the way her ads are the way they're focused on the policies as though they're not involved at all. They're like, Donald Trump doesn't want border agents, and it's like Donald Trump's not in office right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are. She's like, when I'm elected, I'm going to do these things. Like, but you are the vice president. Like,
do them now.
Or do them. Yeah.
How about just do it now? You want to close the border? Do it now.
Yeah. She's going to have to. She's got to campaign against Joe Biden.
And how can she campaign against the administration that she is second in command of?
She's campaigning against it, but also claiming a right to his debate spot, right?
Yes.
I mean, are you Joe Biden's, body double, or are you a separate campaign?
And a right to his campaign war chest.
Yeah.
There is a serious FEC question right there, because when people are donating money, okay, who did they donate it to? Can you really just slide into that position now and get $91 million? Because if you are, I'm pretty sure some other candidates will be like, wait a second.
I think she should only be able to do it if she picks Joe Biden as her vice president. Like if they just swap places on the ticket, it's basically the same ticket, right? If it's her and somebody completely different, our mystery box vice president.
Mystery box vice president.
You know what I mean? Then this is not the same thing at all, and no one should have to treat it like it's the same campaign.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's jump to this story from Forbes. Kamala crash. Trump blames Harris for stock market downturn. In case you missed it, Wall Street's fear gauge, the VIX, hits highest levels since the pandemic market plunge in 2020. We've got, where do we have this one? Washington Post, Dow sinks Post Dow sinks more than 1,000 points in global market sell-off. And for good measure, where's my phone? Oh, it's my phone's ringing. Well, let me just disclose what I'm currently down today. $18,000. I'm not a big stock. Very much in there. But that's my losses for the day. Thanks to, I do believe, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. This is the administration that is currently in. It is their policies. They've been spending money like crazy. On just total garbage like the Ukraine war. It's no surprise we're going to see hyperinflation. They've been paying off student loan debts, even though the Supreme Court said not to. They're dumping your money into the market. Dumping your money into the market. And I don't mean in a way that would actually bring prices down. I'm saying they're causing hyperinflation. By just spending like lunatics. But there was an interesting point Trump truthed out